and good afternoon to all the viewers, audiences. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much. Just give me 30 seconds. I'll just start sharing my screen, and then we'll have the discussion. Is my screen visible? Hi, is my screen visible?
Yes, Himanshu. Go ahead.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, great. Topic is how does analytics fuel resilience and return? And this primarily is a very pertinent topic, and all of us have seen in the last 9 to 12 months how COVID-19 has actually created the whole uh, disruption in the client's premises and in the for employees as well as for our own companies. So with that whole context, I'm going to quickly touch upon that the why piece of is why this whole data analytics as a technology is something which is more important. It was important, but more important now. And then what are those different solutions, use cases across industries which we are seeing in the market right now, and we have implemented few of them already. And lastly, how piece of it. We all see a lot of concepts, we all see a lot of points, but then how to implement a successful data analytics program. And then we'll have in the end few minutes for the Q&A, but you can keep on sending your Q&A in the chat window as well. So data analytics primarily, what we have seen is that in the COVID-19 pandemic, post COVID-19 pandemic, and during pandemic, that we need to ensure our workers and our employees are safe. They are able to access the whole data on which they have to work from their comfortable home zone. They need a strong technology backbone. Then we have seen how the companies can sustain or run their operations successfully if the technology and data is provided to them. We also have another scenarios where the customers are experiencing a lot of difficulties in terms of the brick and mortar kind of a setup. So how data help our customers to do the buyings more easily, as well as how we can target, how we can campaign our customers better. So all of these aspects are kind of covered in my presentation, and also the supply chain piece, how our suppliers are disrupted, and then how data can help them to kind of gear up for the supply chain related deliverables from their end successfully to the companies. Just quick thought that data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, it is all going to be a new internet. So we have seen in the last decade or decade and a half how internet has kind of penetrated each and every aspect of our life. But slowly we'll see that the data analytics and AI ML is going to be the next internet for us. Few quick examples, whether it's legal or accounting firms, or who started using the smart contracting concepts, which are primarily driven by the data analytics technologies, or online retailers, our Amazons of the world, Flipkarts of the world, which are touching our lives on a day-to-day basis. How much analytics they are using to influence our behavior. And third is hardcore manufacturing, the auto companies. So many auto companies globally have started using analytics, whether on the supplier side or understanding their customer side. And I'll touch upon more use cases down the line. Just few numbers, just to tell you that it's primarily a concept which kind of touches each and every industry, and it's an horizontal, if you ask me. Whether it's an aircraft industry for whom we have to predict the maintenance period for any aircraft, and when aircraft can be down on the ground for the maintenance. We have to predict that, and systems are available, and we are doing it. Or for that matter, pharmaceutical companies are actually using a lot of analytics to come up with a new vaccine, or new formulas. Or auto manufacturers, as I just said, whether it is on the supply side or inventory optimization side or demand forecasting. From, if you see, from the extreme left, which is supplier, to the extreme right, which is your customer, data analytics actually touching each and every aspects across industries. Now, when we say data analytics, it's pretty important nowadays to understand that it is not just a technology solution. It has actually started becoming, giving us a competitive edge over our competitions, because it's end of the day, it's how efficiently you manage your supply chains, and how efficiently you quickly you get to your customers and sell your products. So it actually is a lever which is actually giving a strategic advantage to the companies globally. Now, if you, and all of us know, I mean, data is everywhere and anywhere. So in just a couple of slides, I wanted to show that the data is coming not only from structured sources, which are the databases available within your own company premises, but also the data is coming in the form of unstructured data, which could be emails, photos, maps, or for that matter, even the chat, even the Alexas of the world. All of that is unstructured data, which is nowadays started coming into companies' premises, and the company should be ready to invest into a platform which should start accumulating that data as a step one, and then start analyzing the data. So both structured plus unstructured. Now, if you start doing it, then what will you do? So one of the example is that it will help you to create a good recommendation engine for your customers. And we are seeing so well, whether it is Netflix or Amazon Prime, or for that matter, Amazon itself. Again, data, unstructured data coming in from from various sensors, IoT devices. It's all unstructured data, which is now getting generated by your customers. So you need to start creating a platform which should actually absorb, store, and then analyze it for you. Again, some more examples of unstructured data. So why all of this? Because I wanted to come to this slide to tell you that everywhere it's data. And when we talk about data, whether it is volume, you can see the numbers over here, or the type of data, from the cloud, from web, from IoT devices, internal databases, different variety of data, and veracity also, whether it's a poor quality data or a medium to good quality data. You have to start analyzing your data sets. And finally, the velocity. You can see that you and I every day are generating 1.7 MB of data, each person, each second. Of course, there is a study which is also mentioned, the link over here. But even if we take it with a pinch of salt, you can imagine the kind of data all of us are generating, either through our mobile devices or through the various purchases which we are doing online. And you can see on the right side that this big data is kind of growing across industries. None of the industries left today. You can see all the way from traditional industries to the new age industries. Now, before we go further, just wanted to touch upon a very basic concept of data analytics. We can divide the whole journey in two parts. One is which can start looking into your historical data, start analyzing your historical data and giving you all kinds of information from the event which already happened. So which is the backward looking. And then on the right side, you can see the forward looking. So this forward-looking technologies or scenarios within a data analytics ecosystem can actually predict some of the events for you, can prescribe the events that what should be done, and then bringing the AI flavor to this, it can actually take decisions on its own. It can keep on learning on the data sets which you are having in your organization, and then it will keep on taking the right decisions for you. So as you can see from the descriptive or the investigative kind of a business intelligence solution, the sophistication is on the right side, which is more on the prediction side. Now, each of these pillars requires a lot of journey. I have around 2 decades of experience in this field, but I can tell you that uh, any company which has started any of the uh, analytics project starts very small. So a lot of times we think that it's a big bang project, but that's not the case. We have to start small. We have to start with the right infrastructure in place, and then you can start from extreme left and then start moving into the right side, from the left to the right. So that's how we have to read this, and that's what my experience also says in this field, that we have to start small. We have to pick up few use cases as per your industry, and then kind of keep on enhancing it to the larger audiences within the organization and make it institutionalized. Just wanted to touch upon this concept, and then this is where the whole cycle, if you see, the value chain from your supplier side, all from left side all the way to the right side is your customer. So as you can see, data analytics is touching each and every aspect of the value chain, from your supplier side to your internal departments like finance, HR, to your operations, then to the customer, and finally to your marketing teams. So as you can see, you can pick up a use case from any of the aspect of your value chain and then start showing the value. And it will start generating a lot of interest once you start doing some kind of POCs, pilots, and use cases in any of the value chain aspects. Some of the use cases, it's a busy slide, but the idea is that whether you pick up finance or risk or tax on the left side, or your customers, suppliers, logistics, or people, your HR on the right side, there are use cases, there are examples which you will find from which you can learn. You can learn how to start, and then of course you need a strong backbone of technology in your premises to start implementing it. I'll come to the how piece, that how you should start the journey in the end. I have a couple of slides, but the idea is that use cases are available. You have to just pick up and start a journey. Again, example which you can see that resilient supply chain. So due to COVID, the entire retail industry was facing a lot of challenges in India, and then we have pick up few use cases for the retail industry to how to streamline their supply and demand risk, and then created simulation models which helps them to actually target and pick up the routes which are less COVID affected, and then our deliveries are kind of at least minimized. The turnaround time is minimized on the delivery side. Analytics driven demand forecasting, I just talked about it, whether it is your demand forecasting and then your inventory optimization and then production planning. All three are actually linked with analytics as a backbone. Also, I wanted to touch upon few of the examples, and a lot of times people talk about that analytics is specific to industry, but I want to clear that doubt that the analytics is right now across industry. You can see whether it's a brick and mortar industry like industrial products, or a new age industry like technology, or for that matter, you can see that government is also taking lots and lots of initiatives globally to embed analytics into their citizen facing schemes. I'll just turn around few of them. So finance, so when we say data, correct? So data we have seen is generated everywhere, and assuming you start consuming that data, you need to have a strong backbone in your organization which actually do the governance of that data which you are generated. Because a lot of times you want to take decisions on your data, but at the same time also want to understand the audit trail of that data, from where that data is generated, and what is the authenticity of data of that particular data before you decide on some business decision. So we have seen that some of the solutions help our clients to create this whole data governance framework, which generates a lot of credibility and trust around the data sets which they are having within their premises. Industrial products, demand forecasting models are in very huge demand right now. So basis the historical sales and the various macroeconomic parameters in which the companies are operating, data analytics help to create a platform, a framework which generates a forecasting schedule for your products. And it could be across geography, it could be across products. A lot of algorithms are available to do that. Retail and consumer, I just talked about it, but this is like you can also use analytics to consume your seasonality data, your promotion data, and then define a trade promotion use case, which wherein it will help you to not only do trade promotions but also help you to increase your return on investment on your trade promotions. And at the back end, there is an entire data analytics platform which can enable to do this. On the technology side, telecom clients would like to understand how they can predict the churn before even the customer decide to log off from a telecom network. Telecom providers wanted to understand if they can do something, and analytics can actually help to analyze the behavior, the pattern, the usage, and give forecast of the subscribers who may churn in near future. Government, we are seeing, and then pharma also is using it. So a lot of times clients actually want us to create a center of excellence and then help them to actually create the processes required for data analytics purposes, then the technology essential for to deliver the data analytics projects, and then various solutions which are applicable for that particular company. This could be applicable for any of the global business services captives, whether it's in the financial services or in the ITES sector. Pretty much the center of excellences on analytics is something which is right now being kind of designed for clients, and we are seeing a lot of market around these kind of requirements. On the government side, or just one example wherein governments wanted to understand, this is more on the tax side, if there is a revenue leakage, if there are certain transactions which are not giving them appropriate tax slabs, so how they can identify those transactions. So we do have certain solutions which we have seen globally have helped a lot of tax departments to identify the revenue leakages. So with this, I would like to come to a slide which talks about the how piece of it. So we have seen the why this is more pertinent and important at this stage post-pandemic to use analytics. Secondly, we have seen the what piece of it, what all different use cases, solutions by industry are right now running, and they have huge potential. And now the how piece of it. Now, if you have to pursue data analytics strategy for your company, you have to focus on, first of all, the business problem and the objectives which you want to derive. And then you have to create some kind of a platform which is more on a technology front and in parallel to your employee skill enhancement. Just prior to this session, I was hearing there were talks about the learning opportunities in the region, and then I also heard that data analytics is one of the stream which is kind of being taught in a lot of universities in your region. So yes, that's very important to have the right mindset of people to learn data analytics as a focused program, because that is what is going to be required to start your journey or any company's journey on the analytics front. Because consultants can come and implement, but then company needs to have their own employees who should take up the project and then take the journey forward. And then, of course, you need to have some kind of operating model in place, which is futuristic. But for me, takeaway of this slide is that you need to have a business use cases across the value chain, which we just saw, specific use cases, and then your technology backbone to be ready to implement it, and your workforce to be ready to execute it. So these are 2-3 key aspects which are very important, and what we have seen in the past and which work well, wherein these 2, 3, 4 items needs to be kind of prioritized to initiate your journey on analytics. That's all I have. I think I have consumed my time. I've actually overshoot it. Feel free to talk to me or write an email. This is my email ID. I would be very happy. I am on LinkedIn. Please feel free to connect. But thank you very much. And it's open to questions now. Also, there are a lot of data analytics related content is available in the public domain. You can go to any of these literatures and enhance your knowledge about data analytics. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Himanshu. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the last session for the day. Malaysia roaring to the next level, featuring Mr. Nurhizam Ibrahim from Malaysian Investment Development Authority, MIDA. Currently, he is the Director of the Advanced Technology and R&D Division. His role focuses on identifying trends, new and emerging technology, such as smart manufacturing, Industry 4.0, as well as new businesses suitable for Malaysia's industry and business ecosystem. Please welcome Mr. Nurhizam.